Dogs have a great purpose. Their role is to love you every single day.
Wow. That sentiment, those opening lyrics from a song, the material you shared, they really hit home.
They really do. It perfectly captures what we're digging into today, doesn't it?
Absolutely. So today we're doing a deep dive into this, well, incredibly rich and complex relationship we have with dogs.
And we're drawing on this really thoughtful collection of, personal stories and expert insights that you provided. It's quite a mix.
Exactly. Your sources took us on a fascinating journey, and we're going to follow that path.
Yeah.
We'll start maybe by unearthing the deep history of working dogs,
It's good.
focusing particularly on the Rottweiler, such a powerful breed with a really interesting past.
Right.
And from there, we'll navigate some, tougher realities like canine cancer.
Yeah, that comes up quite a bit.
But also look at some really inspiring advancements in how it's being treated. We'll share some incredible stories of resilience, too.
Oh, definitely. Especially those dogs overcoming limb differences, finding new purpose. Yeah. And ultimately, we'll celebrate the incredibly strong emotional bonds we share with these amazing animals, particularly, I think, through the heartwarming work of therapy dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So our aim really is to give you a deeper appreciation for the many ways dogs impact our lives. Hopefully you'll find some surprising facts and maybe have a few of those aha moments.
Love those aha moments. So where do we begin? History.
Let's do it. The historical role of the Rottweiler. Your sources kick off, tracing their origins way, way back.
Yeah, all the way back to Roman herding dogs, which is pretty remarkable when you think about it. Their lineage goes deep.
It really is incredible. Can you picture that? These powerful dogs marching alongside the Roman army. What exactly were they doing back then? Like supply chain dogs.
That's actually a pretty good way to put it. The Romans, they were nothing if not practical, right?
Right.
They needed a reliable way to move their food source, their livestock across huge distances.
To feed the armies, yeah.
Exactly. So these ancestors of the Rottweiler, they're strong, capable herders, absolutely essential for keeping the dinner moving as the legions marched, even over tough terrain like the Alps.
Wow. So these dogs were literally a vital part of the Roman war machine. It's just amazing.
It really is.
And their story didn't end there, did it? After the Romans, they sort of settled in the Rottweil region, Germany, Switzerland.
Precisely. And Rottweil became this important market town. And that's where the Rottweiler really cemented its identity as the butcher's dog, the Metzgerhund.
Ah, the butcher's dog.
Yeah, they weren't just herding anymore. They were strong enough to pull carts, loaded with meat to the market.
Wow.
It just speaks volumes about their strength, their drive, their adaptability.
I can just picture that these sturdy dogs pulling carts through busy market streets. So vivid. Okay, fast forward to today. You still see that impressive build, but their jobs have changed quite a bit, haven't they?
Oh, definitely. You don't see many meat carts pulled by Rotties these days.
Yeah.
But as the documentary overview mentions, they now play these invaluable roles in things like search and rescue.
Right, where their tracking and determination are key.
Absolutely crucial. And they excel as therapy dogs, too, offering comfort. And as assistance dogs, providing really vital help.
Yeah.
It's a real testament to their intelligence and how trainable they are.
Speaking of providing vital help, though, your sources also get into a really significant health challenge that affects so many dogs, Rottweilers included, cancer.
Mm-hmm.
That personal story of Sansone, the Rottweiler. It was clearly so loved. That really stuck with me.
It's such a tough reality for so many owners. Sansone's story, from the happy puppy days
Yeah.
to that first sign, the limp, and then the osteosarcoma diagnosis. It just throws that deep bond we have into sharp relief.
And osteosarcoma, it's the same aggressive bone cancer that affects children. That adds another layer, doesn't it?
It really does. It feels particularly cruel somehow.
Absolutely. And hearing about the family's decisions, amputation, chemotherapy, it just underscores the depth of love, the commitment involved.
It's agonizing. And then we hear about Squirt, another Rottweiler, facing the same thing.
It's just heartbreaking to see it hitting the same breed like that.
But Squirt's journey offers another angle. His owners went with amputation, and what's really striking is how his personality just bounced back once the pain was managed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he went from being subdued, clearly suffering, back to his happy, apparently food-loving self.
That's amazing. It shows how much pain can mask who they really are.
Exactly. Relieve the pain and you get your dog back.
And Squirt's story also introduces this alternative treatment. Molecular therapy sounds pretty cutting edge.
It is. It's a really interesting approach. Unlike, say, traditional chemo that kind of hits all fast-growing cells.
Right, the sort of carpet bombing approach.
Kind of, yeah. Molecular therapy aims to be more targeted. It tries to specifically identify and attack the malignant cells, hopefully with fewer of those broader side effects. The idea is to harness the body's own systems, in a way.
That's really encouraging to hear about these advancements, but unfortunately, Sanson's story takes that heartbreaking turn. The cancer came back.
Yeah, despite
Yeah.
the initial treatments.
It just brings us back to that profound grief, having to say goodbye.
It's a really stark reminder of how aggressive some cancers are and the incredibly difficult choices owners face.
Mm.
These stories really capture the emotional roller coaster.
But, even amidst these tough stories, your sources also share some incredibly inspiring ones about dogs overcoming huge physical hurdles.
Oh, yes.
Brutus.
Brutus the Rottweiler, yeah.
Yeah.
Born with limb differences.
Exactly. Due to frostbite as a tiny puppy, his story is just a powerful testament to the resilience of dogs and also to the amazing advances in, veterinary prosthetics.
Orthopeds, right. They made his prosthetic limbs.
That's the one. And his journey to getting them is it's truly heartwarming.
It's incredible how quickly he adapted, seeing him able to run and play, just being a normal dog.
And it wasn't just physical. His foster mom talked about how his personality just blossomed.
His confidence grew. Exactly.
Yeah.
It really shows how much physical well-being affects their whole outlook, their happiness.
Now, this is interesting. The founder of Orthopets, their background is in human prosthetics for children.
Yeah. Isn't that fascinating? It really highlights this wonderful sort of cross-pollination of knowledge between human and animal medicine.
Totally. The basic principles apply across species.
Right. And I imagine working with kids who can't always tell you what's wrong or how something feels probably gave incredible insights for working with animals.
That makes sense. And this ties into the whole field of animal rehabilitation, which seems to be getting bigger.
Definitely. It's becoming much more crucial.
Helping dogs recover from surgery, adapt to things like prosthetics.
Exactly. Like the experts in the doc explained, it's this great mix of vet medicine and human physical therapy techniques.
Like getting them moving early after surgery.
Crucial to prevent muscle weakness, pain, all that secondary stuff. It's all about function and quality of life.
And Brutus, in his own way, actually inspired more research into dog prosthetics. That's quite a legacy.
It really is. His story just shows what's possible
Wow.
when we get creative and push the boundaries for our animal companions.
Okay, so shifting gears just a little, a question probably on a lot of listeners' minds. Why do dogs get cancer? Your sources touch on this.
It's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's complex. The experts point out that, yes, larger breeds like Rottweilers do have a higher risk of osteosarcoma.
Why is that? Just size.
It seems related, yeah.
Yeah.
Their rapid growth, the overall size and weight, putting stress on their bones, that's likely part of it.
And fundamentally, cancer is just cells going rogue, right?
Right.
The immune system can't stop them multiplying.
That's the basic mechanism, yeah. Normal controls break down. And beyond genetics and size, they also talk about potential environmental factors.
Like what?
Things in their everyday environment. Pesticides, herbicides maybe, household cleaners, even secondhand smoke. It makes you think.
It really does. And the documentary also brings up that controversial topic, commercial dog food.
Ah, yes. Concerns about chemicals, preservatives.
I know that worries a lot of owners. Is there a definite link?
It's really difficult to prove a direct cause and effect. It's a topic with a lot of debate and ongoing research for sure. But the concerns are out there, and owners are definitely thinking more carefully about diet.
Which leads us to Liv's story with her Rottweilers, Ula and Oscar. It's so powerful because she felt she was doing everything right for Ula.
And still got that devastating osteosarcoma diagnosis.
Yeah. It's a poignant reminder, isn't it? Even the most dedicated owners can face this.
Absolutely. And her response was to dive deep into the science, into nutrition, which led her to explore raw food diets.
And Ula's treatment, it involves surgery, but also something called metronomic chemotherapy. What is that exactly?
Right, metronomic. It's different from the high-dose chemo cycles we usually think of. It involves giving frequent but low doses of the medication.
Okay. Why low dose?
The main goal isn't necessarily to kill all the cancer cells outright with each dose. It's more focused on inhibiting angiogenesis.
Angiogenesis, that's the tumor growing new blood vessels.
It's exactly, to feed itself. So the idea is to kind of starve the tumor, slow its growth, rather than hitting it with a massive blast. And Liv noted Ula handled it remarkably well.
Maintained a good quality of life.
Yeah, really good. Still wanted to go to the beach after chemo sessions, apparently.
That's wonderful to hear. And Liv's experience with Oscar, her second Roddy, just shows her continued dedication to exploring different avenues, including alternative therapies alongside the raw diet.
And the documentary does make that interesting point. Many really long-lived dogs often seem to be on fresh food diets.
Right. And we hear from Janine, too, who's so committed to preparing this balanced raw diet for her Rottweiler, Lena.
Yeah, she breaks down all the ingredients, the reasoning,
Mm.
focusing on energy, immune support, that sort of thing.
Your sources also mention stereotactic radiation. That's another advanced option Sansone had. Sounds incredibly precise.
It really is innovative. It lets them target tumors with really high doses of radiation, but with pinpoint accuracy.
So it spares the surrounding healthy tissue more.
Exactly. Minimizes damage, which can be huge, especially if surgery isn't an option, or just to reduce side effects.
It's interesting going back to Sansone. Even with all his challenges, the possibility of him becoming a therapy dog was still there.
It really speaks to that inherent gentleness many Rottweilers have, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Despite their, imposing look.
Totally. And the documentary just beautifully shows the positive impact therapy dogs have, especially on kids.
Well, the reading programs, they're amazing. Kids read aloud to the dogs, no fear of judgment.
And their reading levels and confidence just shoot up.
Significant improvements, yeah. The anecdotes about Spencer, the therapy dog, and the kids' reactions, just pure joy. It highlights that non-threatening, supportive presence.
Yes, so heartwarming.
And the benefits go way beyond reading programs. Think assisted living, hospitals.
Reducing stress, lowering blood pressure.
Yep, research shows that. Improving focus, positivity. Spencer being called the local hero, totally deserved, reflects the huge impact.
We also hear about Benny, another Roddy therapy dog and a cancer survivor himself.
Benny's story is particularly moving. Having been through cancer, he must have brought this unique empathy, this hope, to his work.
That must have been incredibly inspiring for people facing their own battles.
For sure. His later passing from hemangiosarcoma is sad, another reminder of these diseases, but his legacy lives on through dogs like Spencer.
And then there's Gunther, working in a pediatric ICU.
Yeah, bringing joy to patients, staff, and incredibly providing comfort after the Pulse nightclub tragedy in Orlando.
Wow. To first responders, the community, that's an incredible role for the human-animal bond in a crisis.
It truly underscores the power of dogs to offer solace, support, even in the absolute worst circumstances. Their presence is just so grounding.
Bringing it back to Sansone, his story ends with his passing and that image of the Rainbow Bridge.
It's such a comforting sentiment, isn't it?
Yeah.
It resonates so deeply with anyone who's loved and lost a pet.
It really speaks to that profound emotional significance dogs hold for us.
That unwavering loyalty, constant companionship, unconditional love. It creates this bond that feels utterly unique, irreplaceable, often.
And the documentary shares all these different voices, people talking about their Rottweilers, dogs in general,
Yeah.
highlighting their work ethic, companionship, adaptability.
And that amazing, just perpetually positive nature they seem to have.
Yeah. There's this consistent theme, isn't there? Dogs just make people feel better.
Mm-hmm. That bond feels almost like a parent-child relationship for many, full of love, responsibility, deep connection.
And those qualities we see in the Rottweilers throughout that stoicism, fierce loyalty, unparalleled love, they really shine through.
Yeah, really do.
It's also really good to see that more owners seem informed now, actively looking for kinder, gentler cancer treatments.
Yeah, that's a definite shift. It shows a deeper understanding of animal well-being, a desire to give them the absolute best quality of life. Even when things are tough, the commitment is just remarkable.
Absolutely. And then, right at the end, the introduction of Bodhi, the new puppy.
Ah, Bodhi. It's such a beautiful symbol, isn't it? Hope. The continuation of that cycle of companionship and love, even after loss.
A really powerful reminder that, yes, the pain is real, but our capacity to love another animal endures. New beginnings are possible.
Beautifully put.
So wrapping up this deep dive, we've covered a lot of ground, haven't we?
We certainly have.
The fascinating history of dogs like Rottweilers as workers, the tough realities of cancer, but also the hope in new treatments.
Those incredible stories of resilience, dogs overcoming challenges, the amazing therapy dogs.
And underpinning it all, that immeasurable, profound bond we share with them.
Mm-hmm. Which maybe leads to a final thought for you, the listener. This exploration really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Given this incredibly deep, multifaceted impact dogs have on our lives, what responsibility do we, in turn, have towards them?
That's a great question.
Maybe reflecting on what we can learn from them, their resilience, their unconditional love, that enduring spirit, perhaps, that
offers some insights into our own lives and into cherishing that unique connection. We really encourage you to think about what your own dog means to you, or maybe explore some of these areas, further canine health, therapy work, that ever-evolving human-animal bond.